Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends. We're going to take kind of a crude look at Raid Shadow Legends, the history of Raid Shadow Legends, and what has happened over the last year and 2 or 3 months. So they came out and said a little thank you and a gift for hitting this milestone of 2 years to celebrate with us. 2 years ago, we sat down and started coding Raid Shadow Legends. We had some concept art, design documents, and some basic test animation. Now, I find that hard to believe, but we'll talk about that in a second. So it's cool. Who knows why they need that date? It doesn't really matter. If they need that specific date for something to put on their documents, maybe that's why they need it. But Raid did actually beta launch on July 2018. So we're going to say a year and 2 months to 3 months ago it was done. So I don't believe that they coded all of Raid Shadow Legends in 7 months. Most game developments take 2 years to go into beta, if not longer, depending on if they have issues or not. But 2 years is a good milestone for them to actually come out. Now maybe it was 7 months, because believe me, when this game launched, even in beta, it was not ready. When it launched globally in January, it was not ready. Nowhere near ready. We're going to go over all that as well. So you can also see here that it did launch globally in January, and I started playing it sometime around here. So you can go check all this stuff out in the Polarium forums and go look at their patch notes and go back in time and look at all their stuff. But we're going to go look at the patch notes as well. We're just going to go skip a little bit further to global, January 8th. So January 8th, they added the Champion Vault. Now, I don't remember in January, because after January, I was still complaining about Champion Space. I was complaining to Marius all the time. I was saying, hey, I need more roster space. I need more vault space. There's not enough space to do anything. So I don't know when this was added, and I don't know when the expansion of that was added. Right now, we need some space, guys. So get ahead of it and get us some additional space. We've been saying that for 3 more months again. So we need more space. Please get us some more space. So that was in January. So again, in January, they were talking about the Sir Nicholas Fusion with Jingle Hunter. I wasn't around then. I think this fusion wasn't in January. I think it was before, even though they're talking about it right now. I don't know what, but let me know. Let me know the date that the Sir Nicholas Fusion actually happened, because I missed that. I wish I was around. Great champion. Anybody who has it from the fusion is very lucky. And then in February, they came out with missions. So I was around for, I think I might have been around for missions, or I came in right after it, because I for sure remember playing the game and talking about Executioner with people, and this came out. So everybody was telling me to get Executioner, to do brutal farming, to do farming in missions, and then this came out to make Executioner's turns on a longer cooldown, 1 turn longer cooldown, which is a wise choice. Executioner was really strong. He still is a really good champion. There's nothing wrong with Executioner. He's a rare champion. He's still really good, but nobody really uses him anymore, and they increased his cooldown on both of his skills. So people weren't happy. People were not happy at this time. And then can you imagine, look, suppression from Martyr, damage decrease. Can you imagine Martyr hitting even harder from her AoE? That's crazy. So there we go with some patch notes. Then in March, we jumped to the Shamrock Fusion, which I was playing the game then. I remember it. I did not participate in it, because I remember at that time over in my server, this is when I started doing, this is the beginning of my raid chat right here in March. So in March, even though I was playing the game, I didn't really get into it enough, because at that time, January, February, I was still heavily into Marvel Strike Force and Epic 7. I was playing tons of Marvel Strike Force and Epic 7 and trying to keep up with this game. So then I eventually in March made all these channels and went hard into Raid Shadow Legends. So then we jump over to, what do we got next? We go into April, where we get tournaments, and I don't know, the time frame on a lot of these patch notes are kind of weird, or at least when they say stuff in the patch notes, because some of the patch notes say, hey, this is what the patch is, but in further patches, we're going to get this other stuff. Sorry, it didn't make it in this patch. So it makes it kind of hard to follow the patch notes, because it's telling me about some other features that aren't really in this patch, that are in future patches. So this tournament feature, whenever this came out, I remember them coming out with, actually, what was it down here? These global events. And I kept record of global events. I tried to back in the day. Actually, I need to get rid of this tab, rolling events. So these were the global rolling events that they had back in the day. So I was trying to keep track of what they were. They were changing them so much. They were making them so different. They were very hard to complete. As you know, anything in this game, it was hard to complete for free-to-play players. Still is. We still can't even get books. There's no way out there for us to get books even once a week. It's crazy. So we had the global events come out. I kept track of that. And then we have tournaments come out, which, you know, you've seen tournaments right now. And I don't know when the fusion for Foley came out, and then they introduced the permanent fusion for Roz and Scarhide. I can't remember the dates for that, and I can't find that in the actual patch notes here or I'm missing it. I'm looking over that. So then the referral program comes out, which makes me laugh because I've never used a referral program, and it's just been a nightmare for a lot of other people. I've tried to use it. I've never used it. I've never actually had it work. I've tried to use it before. It didn't really work out. So I don't know. To me, this whole thing was crazy. Then we had balancing things done with our masteries, which was good. And then also we're going to jump to July. So in July, it was a big patch, right? So July 1.8. If you weren't around, let's go over here to Discord. Because if you weren't around in Discord, I did a search here, 1.8 soon. If you weren't around for 1.8 soon, trademark, then you missed everything. And right now, Lady F is saying, are we officially making 1.12 the new 1.8? I really hope not. I really hope not, but it has been some time. I don't know what's going on with development of 1.12. It is taking forever, and none of us know what's going on with it. None of us. I keep asking the devs. I keep asking everybody. We don't know. 1.8, if you don't remember, if you came into Discord chat and said anything that could apply to a coming soon or a soon, that's the kind of remark you got for months, or for at least a good month or whatever, because they said it was coming out and then it got pushed back. So for a while there, the moderators were moderating the forums. Everything was a meme about soon. And 1.8 brought in artifacts, right? Wasn't 1.8 brought in the 6-star legendary artifacts? So really, to me, the game did not global launch until July, if that's when this came out, when they had the legendary artifacts. Because keep in mind, the game still had in this stuff saying, like, people played since global release forever, and they didn't say you didn't frequent Discord or you didn't go onto Reddit. So they always, this is what it looked like. This is what it looked like to them. It said 4 to 6-star artifacts, 4 to 6-star artifacts, 5 to 6-star. Well, actually, we were stage 15 back then. It said 4 to 6-star artifacts, and we could never, and I don't remember when 20 got added as well. So 15 was back then. 4 to 6-star artifacts. Everything said 6-star artifacts. We did not have 6-star artifacts in the game for now. What was it going on? January to July. So January to July, when we're still in global, I'm doing this, but beta, really, it's complete beta, because the game had nothing in, and it was saying that it did. People were trying to farm for 6-star things, and they couldn't. And I'm sitting here yelling at Marius the whole time, each month, saying, hey, why am I going to play your game? Why am I going to spend money to farm? Because that's what this game's all about. It's about getting the champion and then farming, trying to up that, trying to hit those substats, sell the artifact if it's not good, and get new artifacts. Well, I'm not going to do that if I get 4 to 5 stars and I'm waiting for you to implement 6 stars. There's no reason for me, right? There's no reason for me to farm. So I was livid for months. Like, what is going on with your game? Why does it say 6-star? When are you coming out with this? Because I've got nothing to do. I want to spend money. I want to spend time to grind in this game, but I can't, right? So eventually they came out with 6-star artifacts in July. That is when global officially started for Raid Shadow Legends, really. Because then we got 6-star artifacts. We got login rewards, daily login rewards for 90 days, because originally I think it was 30 days, and that went out. We got chickens, we got balance changes, all this kind of stuff, right? So then we go over to, after that, we go to a new update that talks about tournaments, champion fusion. This might be, I cannot remember, in July. Is this when the whole fusion for Foley and things happened? I didn't read back through it. Let me know. And then after the Foley fusion, we got Rosin's Carhide, because they did such a bad job with a paywall on Foley fusion, right? So then we got more champion balancing. I remember all this. This was pretty recently, right? This was in September. They did a good job with that. Then we have Faction Wars coming in August, but I think August was just telling us about it here in this one. And then I think we actually didn't get it until September, because now it's trying to tell us about it here. So that is kind of what so let's look at what we've actually received as far as content wise, new content. As far as new content for the game, I think we got Great Hall. We've had this, we got new missions to get Arbiter, right? Still not new content, just a mission, give us something to do. We got these tournaments and events that have been rolling that are still not free to play friendly at all. A lot of times they're not even fun. They're quite boring, actually. They don't give you, I mean, look at these rewards. If I wanted to complete this Arena Assault, I think this is probably one of the easier one to complete. If I wanted to complete this, I think this one is actually easy for me to complete. The rest of them are completely terrible. We need a way to get books. We need to have real arena in there. I think they also added anything they've added in this game has just been in addition to what current content we already have. So we've had campaign, they added more campaign, they're going to add more campaign. We had stage 15, they added stage 20 of everything. We have already had a clan boss. All they did is add an additional clan boss. So they keep saying they're adding content, new content, but really the only true new content that we got, because the artifacts going to 6-star back in July are not new content. That's just getting the game out of beta and into an actual full-fledged basic game. And then Faction Wars has been really the only official new content that we received. I can't think of anything else. As far as these events go, it's a nice addition. Yes, it is new content. That's a good move. But anything else, I just can't put my finger on it. I cannot think of anything besides Faction Wars that is actual real content, because new levels to a stage isn't new content. New clan boss is not new content. Taking arena and keeping it exactly the same but adding a new tier to it is not new content at all. New content. So where is our content? I have no idea. I don't know what's going on with everything. So they just keep having these summonings events for us to summon new champions. They keep bringing out new champions, which again, new champions is still not new content for us to do. Faction Wars came out. It was a big miss. Nobody really enjoys Faction Wars. Honestly, I forget to do it 3 days at a time. I'll forget to come in here and do it. And when I do it, all I want to do is the easiest part of it and then auto it. I don't even want to try forward. They've already established that it's too difficult, that it is way overbalanced, just much like Spiders 20 and Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. For the normal public, for the general 90% of your audience, this stuff is way too hard. And they've said they're going to come back and rebalance this, but yet we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it. So they've told us that. We haven't seen it. It's just not enjoyable. It's not fun to do. It's not even fun, interesting content. We don't even see anybody doing content on Faction Wars. It's crazy. But as far as everything else, that's really been it. That is all I can remember. Let me look up here and see if I have any other notes about it. All I know is missions came out in February, global events February, Shamrock in March, tournaments in April, referral program in May, 6-star artifacts in July, which is when the game, to me, officially came out of beta and into global launch. And then we got an epic fusion. Broad Maul came out as a fusion, which nobody uses. We got the Rosin Scarhide fusion, which is a good addition to the game. Again, it's not really added content to the game. All we're doing is spinning our wheels with new champions, and the tavern's still the same way it is. Looking through our champions is still the same way it is. The events are still terrible. 99% of the events are terrible and only about making money, not out of enjoyment or trying to help out people in the game. We still have no way to get books for our champions. We have champions out here who take, I don't know how many books. There are some champions out here that take 20 books. This is a really good champion. This is a really good one. We've got other champions out here that take an insane amount of books. We got champions that they give us here that are complete trash, that aren't even worth having. Like, they give us to us in 90 days. Here's your reward, take it, and then they're not good for anything in the game. So that's where we're at. I'm rating for 1.12. I hope 1.12 comes out soon. Let me know your thoughts on the development of Raid Shadow Legends and what has happened over the last year and 2 months. Are you confident that we're going to get more interesting things? Are you confident in what you've seen with getting content? I mean, just something to do, content in the game. If you look at other games, it's astonishing that Raid has actually, and believe me, I'm a Raid content creator. I enjoy Raid, but it is truly astonishing that it's actually survived this long and thrived. It's actually been making money. Now, will that keep up? Who knows? It's just astonishing to me because they've been lucky. Timing has been very lucky. There hasn't been anything new that has come out lately. You know, Fire Emblem, Summoner's Wars, Epic 7, all that stuff is older, yes, but their development phases for everything have been 1,000 times better than Raid Shadow Legends. It is purely just the aesthetics here that we see that keep this game alive so far. That is it. That's all I've got. But let me know your thoughts below. I'm going to stop rambling about the game. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you all on a video soon.